मैं बड़ा माजरत करता हूँ क्योंकि आप बहुत देर से, इतने मुहज़्ज़ब भाई, इतने देर से ये मुंतज़िर हैं। जी जनाब, कैसे हैं राज साहब? ठीक हैं?
अस्सलाम वालेकुम।
अलैकुम अस्सलाम रहमतुल्लाह, खैरियत से हैं?
कैसा है?
अल्लाह आपको सलामती दे। ऊपर कर है ना कुछ कैमरा?
हाँ ओके।
कुछ इसमें आ जाए ना, वो बिल्कुल नहीं। हाँ अब बेहतर है, कुछ मजीद बेहतर, कुछ ऊपर, मोर ज्यादा करें
ओके
एंगल इसका। हाँ बेहतर हो गया। ओके जनाब, क्या हुक्म है? कहाँ से कॉल किया आपने राज भाई?
Well, so
you're from New York, yeah?
Yeah, I'm from New York. Yeah.
Okay, may Allah bless you.
So I have a question about the companions.
Yeah, go ahead, please. Sure.
So Abu Bakr, Umar, and Usman were companions of the Prophet. Dearly loved by the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Why are they so? Why they seem so negative? And why did Imam Ali, Imam Hassan, Imam name their sons after them? Like, you know.
So this is a big lie that's been propagated, that Amirul Mu'mineen Ahl Bayt alayhim salam loved Abu Bakr Umar, or Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam loved Abu Bakr and Umar. So there is no evidence that Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam liked Abu Bakr and Umar. And there is no credible evidence that Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam loved Abu Bakr and Umar, or rather Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam despised Abu Bakr and Umar. And Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam also detested Abu Bakr and Umar. As far as the naming goes, naming of the sons of Amirul Mu'mineen alayhi salatu wassalam, so there are clips of mine on the internet that you can search and look, inshallah tabaraka wa ta'ala. Abu Bakr is not a name. Abu Bakr is a kunya. Kunya is pretty common. I think it's called patronym or something in English. So in the Arab world, it's quite common that people call another person out of respect on the name of his son. So, for instance, if your name is Raj and I want to address your father, I have the choice of addressing him by his first name, or I have the choice of being more respectful and more polite and address him by his kunya. So I call him Abu Raj, father of Raj. This is considered polite, and this is considered more civil. So, therefore, when you call a person by his kunya, this is not his name. This is just a sort of a title out of respect. So, perhaps this son of Amirul Mu'mineen, his son's name was Bakr, and people used to call him Abu Bakr. Perhaps. Or there might have been another reason we are not aware. So his name is, Abu Bakr is not a name. Likewise, Abu Bakr himself, the first caliph, that's not his name. His name is Atiq. But he has gained reputation through his kunya. Now, with respect to Umar, Amirul Mu'mineen alayhi salatu wasalam's son's name Umar, but there were a number of Sahaba whose names were Umar. You understand? Umar, there were a number of Sahaba, many Sahaba. Umar was a very common name. So their names were Umar. There is no evidence, there is no hadith, even a weak hadith, that Amirul Mu'mineen alayhi salam named his son Umar in recognition of Umar ibn Khattab, in honor of Umar ibn Khattab. There is none. And there's no hadith that he named his son Umar. Other people might have named him, or he himself named him Umar. But for Umar ibn al-Khattab, there's none. So it could have been for another person. And these were common names. For instance, now, people name their sons George or Max or Tyson. It doesn't mean they're naming him George after President George Bush, right? It could be another. People name you. It's very common. You look at your neighbors. Hey, I've named my son George after my uncle George or after my father. It doesn't have anything to do with George Bush. So now, we demand the Umaris to produce a hadith or any evidence that Amirul Mu'mineen alayhi salam named his son Umar in honor of Umar ibn al-Khattab. And there's also in many manuscripts of different Shia and non-Shia books, his name has been mentioned as Amr, and they are written through the same letters, same lexicography, same method of writing, Amr and Umar. And Amr later on in Islamic history, people added a waw when it's maksur or majroor or marfu, and that's rather new. After the first century that it was introduced. So during the lifetime of Amir al-Mu'minin alayhi salam, we don't know whether it was Amr or Umar. As far as Uthman goes, if you watch my clips or watch today's show, in the beginning somebody called and I answered him in detail that there's a hadith that he named his son Uthman after Uthman ibn Mad'un, who was a companion of the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. He named his son Uthman in his honor, not in the honor of Uthman ibn Affan. So now, going back to your question, in Shia history, there were a lot of Shias in early Shia history whose names were Shimr, companions of the Imams alayhim salam, whose names were Shimr, and it was not considered obscene. This was not considered repugnant, because there's nothing wrong with the name, with the letters. You understand? Now, because we associate Shimr with the murder of Imam Hussein alayhi salam, and we do not know anybody else named Shimr. So to us, it seems obscene. To us, it seems repugnant. To us, it seems like shocking. But back then, these names were very common names, Arabic names. There were many companions of the Imam alayhi salam whose names were Yazid. Now, no Shia loves Yazid. But because these were common names back then, people did not see them as wrong to name their sons Yazid. Likewise, Muawiyah. Now, everybody knows Shias detest Muawiyah. Shias abhor Muawiyah. They are not fond of Muawiyah. But Shias used, for centuries, they used to name their sons, their uncles, their brothers, Muawiyah. Their progeny as Muawiyah. Now, this was not out of love for Muawiyah ibn Abi Sufyan. This was just because it was a common name. You paying attention? So, now if somebody says, okay, such and such a Sahabi's name was Muawiyah, therefore Shias must love Muawiyah. That's irrational. That's nonsense. Yes, it would indicate love of Muawiyah ibn Abi Sufyan if there was evidence that he named his son or his grandson or his progeny in honor of Muawiyah ibn Abi Sufyan. Yeah, of course, that'll be end of discussion. But just somebody's name is Muawiyah, not like your name is now Raj, right? If I find somebody else's name is Raj, it doesn't mean you're friends, and he's named after you. That's not necessary. If somebody's name is Hassan, it doesn't mean he's my friend or we believe in the same thing. It doesn't mean he could be named after his uncle Hassan, and I'm named after Imam Hassan al-Mujtaba alayhi salam, and he could be a Nasibi. He could be an enemy of Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam. So just having the same names, it's a very weak argument. It would prove their point if they produce evidence that Amir al-Mu'minin alayhi salam named his son Umar or Uthman or Abu Bakr in honor of these three. If just having this name, because these were very common names, utilized commonly by Arabs. Lots of people were called Abu Bakr or Umar or Uthman. It doesn't indicate any affinity or amiability between Amir al-Mu'minin alayhi salam and Abu Bakr and Umar and Uthman. Okay? Any other question, Raj?
So the point you said about they were Shias before. How does that make sense? Because weren't they just Muslim? I mean, there wasn't really Shia and Sunni after, obviously, the death of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Could you explain that?
They were Shia. Who told you they were not Shia? They were Shia at the time of the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. People who believed that the heir of the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam is Ali alayhi salam, and then Hassan alayhi salam, and then Hussein alayhi salam. Believed that, and they adhered to that, and they never betrayed that instruction of the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And there were people who knew that the rightful successors of the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam is first Ali alayhi salam, then Hassan alayhi salam, then Hussein alayhi salam. However, they didn't honor the instruction of the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So to say that there were no Shia back then and there were no non-Shias, that's not correct.
Okay, all right. So I have a question about prostration. Obviously, the Shias, obviously the difference between obviously when you start the prayer. Why do Shias always pray like this, and why is there like a difference? Because Sunnis do this, and then Shias do this. Is there
because there's no hadith. There's no hadith whatsoever that the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam ever he folded his hands during prayers. Let me show you a book. This is Rijal al-Najashi. This is a Shia book by Ahmad ibn Ali al-Najashi. And this book lets me take you to page number 283. Look, ومن هذا الباب عمر ibn Muhammad ibn Yazid. Look at the Sahabi. This is a Sahabi of Imam alayhi salatu wasalam. His name is Umar. His father's name is Muhammad, and his grandfather's name is Yazid. Umar ibn Muhammad ibn Yazid. روى عن أبي عبد الله وأبي الحسن عليه السلام. He is a companion of the 6th and 7th Imams. And he was a great scholar. He wrote many books. كتاب مناسك الحج وفرائضه and some other books. So is he a follower of Umar or Yazid? He loves? No, of course not. This is Bihar al-Anwar, volume number 51. Let me show you here about the four deputies of the 12th Imam alayhi salam. أما السفراء الممدوحون في زمان الغيبة. The four deputies of the 12th Imam alayhi salatu wassalam. Who are they?
Oh, you're asking me the question.
الشيخ الموثوق أبو عامر عثمان ibn Sa'id al-Amri. Uthman ibn Sa'id, his name is Uthman. His father's name is Sa'id, and his surname is Amri. No, pertinent to the family of Amr or Umari, who knows? Abu Jafar Muhammad ibn Uthman, and then after him his son, his name is Muhammad ibn Uthman. So all these persons, were they? Uthman ibn Sa'id, was he loved Usman ibn Affan? Of course not. Of course not. He was a 12 Shia. So these names for centuries, Shias used to use these names. And they did not consider them obscene or prohibited. Even today, it's not prohibited if someone wants to name himself Shimr or Muawiyah or Yazid. Okay. Any other question?
Obviously, I do understand, like, the division of, like, Sunni Shia, obviously, because the Shias believe that, Ali in Talib, I may say that incorrectly, was obviously, like, Sunnis believe that Abu Bakr should be like a successor of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and Ali was should be successor of Prophet Muhammad. I understand that. So why do the different sects have different wudus and different wudus?
The wudu, on the question of wudu, there is a debate of mine on this channel or YouTube channel. Could watch it on the wudu of the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam with Maula Asif from Islamabad. So the Quran is very clear that you have to wash your hands, wash your face, wash your hands, and do masah on your head and your feet. So the Umaris, they wash their feet. So their wudu goes against Quran. And there's not a single hadith from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam that he washed his feet as part of wudu. He used to wash, and he insisted people should wash their feet, because not as part of wudu, but because feet get dirty. You walk, especially back then, most people use sandals, Arabic sandals, and feet will get dirty. But as part of wudu, none. Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to do masah and Quran also. Clearly commands that you have to wipe your feet So we are our way of performing wuzu conforms to what Quran orders us, and many ahadith of Ahlul Bayt alayhim as-salam, that you are not allowed to do wash your feet. You must do wipe on your feet. Okay, Raj, thank you so much. May Allah bless you. Okay.